The preacher used to say, you gotta know sin and rebuke it. What's the preacher name? You gotta know sin and rebuke it. In other words, if you ain't never been in nothing, you don't know what it is to be out of it. So for all my good saints who ain't never messed up, you don't know grace for real.
Come on now.
Because you can't appreciate grace and mercy, watch this, unless you're in a place where judgment should have got you. Woo! God, you can appreciate grace and mercy unless you know the depths of your ugliness.
Yes, God. Jesus.
So for all my folks who act like you ain't never done that, you can't know mercy for real. Darkness to light. Alright, so over these next 7 days, 6 days, it's going to be a little bit tough for you, okay? That's understandable. I'm telling you in advance so you can be ready. Now here's the blessing of it all. Let's begin to talk through this Sukkot for a minute. Now, my father side is going to go crazy on me. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and preach y'all because this is going crazy. Sukkot, this day of Sukkot has some particular things about it. When we talk about this and they commemorate, it commemorates coming out of Egypt, bringing Israel out of Egypt and into the promised land. Well, there's some particular things that they do in this time. Watch this. The Jews actually, though they have a home, say my address is 6013. Watch this principle. This is wild. Come on, say this is wild. Watch this. Though they have a house, my house is a 6013 Pound Drive. All right, that's where I live. They go out. I'm sorry, I talk too much sometimes. That's okay. But watch this. They literally go out in their yards or to an open field, and they build what's called a Sukkot, S-U-K-K-O-H. What it is a straw house that's handmade with their own hands, and they put a roof of hay on the top of it. So they build a Sukkot. Now they got a nice warm 5-bedroom mansion over here. But they go outside and build a shack to live in for 7 days. Now in this shack, it ain't no stove. It ain't no refrigerator. It ain't no bed. So every meal they eat, they have to prepare it and eat it in the shack instead of at a comfortable dinner table. With lights, gas, and water now, they go to a shack and eat their meals in the shack. And it is to beat back their flesh and make them remember there was a time when our forefathers had nothing, and yet God gave them everything. Now, watch this. I know that sounds significant, but let me challenge you on this. What if every day you had to eat fast food for every meal? I'm talking about every meal. Every meal you had to eat. You couldn't prepare nothing. You had to go to the store. And watch this. Let me make sure people further. Not only do you have to eat fast food, but you can only eat particular dietary fast foods. In other words, you couldn't eat a cheeseburger because you couldn't mix beef with dairy. And if you ate a hamburger, it would have to be on wheat bread. And you couldn't put mayonnaise on there because it contained animal fat, and it had all these. If you had to observe all these laws, if you had to observe all these particulars, and you could only eat nuts and berries and fruits and grains. No catfish, y'all. No shrimp. Okay, it's coming home now. Where do you go to even find food like that?
Oh, my.
You ain't going to McDonald's. Burger King off the list. Forget Captain D's. Now try eating 3 meals a day like that. No cheese on your eggs. Oh, somebody dying over there. No cheese on my eggs. Why am I showing this? I'm showing you this to see the element of sacrifice. Sacrifice. So Sukkot takes them to this place where they go out and they build the small huts, the Sukkots, and they build it and they eat out of that for 6 solid days. Now watch this. The shift is, watch this, that they have determined their dwelling. They have to change their dwelling. They have to change their feeding. But it signifies some important things that we want to talk about. Now, remember at the beginning of the year, I'm going to take you all the way back to the beginning of this year, 2016. You remember when we were teaching on the glory cloud? Remember that? You know, God sets you up for stuff. Okay, let me back up a second. Let me talk to my teachers and preachers in the room. Watch this. Revelation, if God gives you a vision, watch this. Who's ever had a ministry or starts a ministry or done a ministry or you feel a ministry in you and you have a vision in you? You have a vision of something you want to do. Watch this. Do not set your vision in stone. Because watch this. God gives you a foundation, but it's always progressive. It's going to change. As my mentor, Hart Ramsey, says, God gives you a vision, and as you work on the vision, that vision works on you. So who you are at 50 in your vision is not who you were at 25 in your vision. You feel what I'm saying? So vision, because vision comes from light, and light is progressive.
That's right.
It continuously is moving and going. So watch this. When we talked about the glory cloud at the beginning of the year, I had no idea that God was going to bring us into this study on time and season. But when we talked about the glory cloud, we talked about how that the church needs to understand that we move with the presence of God. We got to stop going to church because of who's there. Amen. We got to start going to church to meet the glory there. This is not about friendship with you people. I love you, but I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to guide you into the presence of God so that He can shift your life where I am deficient. If I'm building you to stand on me, then I'm not building on Christ the solid rock. So the church has to get to a place where it's not about who's here, but it's that He's here. And if you don't find glory in the house you worship in, you got to be careful. You do not want to be in an Ichabod situation where the glory is departed. Okay? So watch this. I don't care what we do, who comes and goes, who stays, it doesn't matter. It's the presence here. That's the key, y'all. And we started preaching at this at the beginning of the year. And watch this. Now God has connected that thing progressively by helping me see that when they come to this time of Sukkot, it's a remembrance not just that they came out of Egypt into the promised land, but it's also about how God brought them out. He brought them out by the glory cloud. Remember, He led them by fire by night and a cloud by day. Y'all know what's talking about that? Cloud by day, fire by night. But what He was saying to Israel is, lo, I am with you. Do those words sound familiar? Yeah. Jesus said it in the resurrection. Yeah. He said, you go and you preach this gospel, and lo, I am with you, even to the end of the... Now that world here, watch this. That word water in that context means time and season, the end of the ages. He says, before you got to know I'm going to be with you until God wraps time up. Yes. Yes. Now, this time was Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. Some very important points I'm going to point out real quick, and I'm going to get out of here. It's 9:28. My musician's back. I've got to move. Okay, here we go. Why you always pick on me, Bishop? Sorry. Okay, so let's talk about some important things here. Let's look at a couple points real quick. When we looked at this last week, we talked about from Impartation 24 that we got to understand that reverence of God is necessary. The promise is said that rest is a choice. You get to choose to do this. He says, let us labor to enter into that rest. You have to work to enter into this place of rest. Now, this word rest here comes from a Greek word. It's called katapausis. What katapausis means, it has an earthly and a spiritual element to it. It means that I trust God right now, but I have a blessed hope of what He's going to do in my future.
All right.
So when we talk about laboring to enter into rest, he says, watch this. Stop working hard on what you're trying to do and work hard on trusting me to do it.
All right. That's it.
That's a big difference, people of God. He says, stop working hard on what you're trying to do and work hard to trust me to do what I said I'm going to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different mindset in ministry. Because see, most of us, watch this, will run ourselves to death in our doing and never talk to him about what should be done. Charles Stanley says, watch this, it's not Charles Stanley, it's Tony Evans. He says, an hour spent in prayer can save you months of time.
Yes, sir.
In just doing.
That's right.
That's a principle he teaches. If you pray before you jump up and do stuff, a lot of stuff you jumping up and do won't even happen.
That's good.
If you pray before you go places, there'll be a lot of places you won't even go because God will be directing you. If you pray before you connect to stuff, you'll avoid a lot of headache because God let you see from the beginning, this is right here on me, you're no good, you're going to get yourself in a world of trouble. You got to learn how to pray first to enter into the rest and trust him before you make the investment of time and energies and all that. So our prayer is a time saver. It's a resource saver. How about you pray about what to do today instead of telling God what you're going to do?
Come on now.
Because I promise you, if you follow him, he'll shift some stuff.
Yes, he will. Yes, sir.
You ever made plans and they don't go the way you planned them? Yeah. Come on, let's be honest. You made plans and ain't nothing that day go the way you want to be. Maybe it's because, watch this, maybe your frustration could have been eliminated if you had asked God first and not told him. If you had asked him, maybe he would have said, no, we're not doing that, we're doing this. He said, oh, okay, so now you get to go through the day without that frustration. I'm going to say this to you. This is going to mess with you a little bit too. There are times when God will tell you to stay home from work. I didn't talk to you today. I mean, ain't God never tell you y'all stay in the house? God, you may tell me, your God has never told you to stay in the house. Don't go to work today. He's done that to me before. Has that ever happened to anybody? Well, God just said, stay. I ain't sick. I ain't making no excuses. I ain't telling no lies. I just can't make it today. I ain't talking about because you boo there. That ain't God talking to you. That's flesh talking to you. I ain't talking about because your boyfriend that time, your husband. I'm talking about God. There are times, there are times when God will wake you up at 3 in the morning and say, I need to talk to you. There are times when God will wake you up and say, hey, go give this to them. And you got to wait saying, Jesus, it's 7 o'clock. They ain't up yet. It's 8 o'clock. I got to get to them because I know you told me to do this. But you waiting for them to wake up. Not knowing they at home praying, waiting for you to come.
That's so good, sir.
If we trust God, watch this. I'm going to mess with you. Can God spend your last dime? No, I ask you, can God say to you, I know you ain't got $5, but I'm trying to give it to them. Can he spend your last dime? Can he spend your last? Because if he tells you, give it to them, first of all, it's all his anyway. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The world that you even own yourself. So if you don't let your mind think, you ain't getting up.
Right.
Wow.
If he says, give them this $5, watch this, will you trust him enough to give up your last so that he can give you more? See, all he want to know is if you trust him. When you rest in him to make the decision, because if he makes the decision, he's got to back it up with the right results.
All right.
He's got to do it. So watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Can he tell you, don't give it to him? Now, you know you gave it to them 5 times. And every time they told you they're going to bring it back, they ain't brought it back yet. And you keep telling telling God, but this is my child. No, God's trying to teach your child something.
All right.
But you standing in the way.